the fight against that. Hello, Mouth, by the way. I did not get a chance to watch the cooking stream because I was getting the internet set up in our new place. But I don't even need to worry about it because I'm sure that it turned out beautifully. How was the lasagna? You know what you should make next time is salsa. My salsa makes all the pretty girls want to dance and take off their underpants. My salsa makes all the pretty girls want to dance and take off their underpants. My salsa. Look out for my next single. It's called My Salsa. When my internet and TV were being set up today, the guy that was setting it up had the CBC on. And they actually, I'm not even messing with you, had a story called the top 3 OK Boomers of the week. I wish there was satire involved with this at any level. Number 3 was Doug Ford telling high school students they shouldn't use their cell phones in class. To which somebody said, "Okay, boomer." Number 2 was Stephen Colbert replying to a tweet on Twitter that said, "Okay, boomer" is a toxic slur. And then number 1 was that New Zealand politician who said "Okay, boomer" in caucus when she was talking about climate change. Which, that one is actually great. It threw me for a loop. They were like, 25-year-old lawmaker. And I was like, 25-year-old lawmaker? Is such a thing even possible? What are your thoughts on yesterday's big match? Not as cynical as you might think, to be honest. They're talking about the KSI Logan Paul boxing match. The thing is, celebrity boxing has been around since I was a kid, if not earlier. I can't speak for that. So I'm not going to be cynical like, oh, it says something about the nature of our society that we enjoy this. Because I watched, Screech from Saved by the Bell box. I don't even remember who he boxed. I think it was one of the bit characters from, Welcome Back, Kotter, when I was, I don't know, probably 12 or 13 years old on TV. But I do laugh every single time whenever people are like, this is going to change the landscape of our industry forever. And I'm like, you might be right, but what industry are you a part of? Because these guys are not part... I mean, they are part of my industry, like we're on the same platform, but it's like, you know, it's like trickle-down social economics. Like, because of the KSI Logan Paul fight, you know, somehow that's gonna make people take me more seriously in what I do as a job. I just don't think it makes any sense. But it's entertainment. I didn't watch, but I didn't watch for a couple of reasons. One is, I'm not gonna pay $20 to watch that fight. I mean, come on. The other reason is because, hello, Tomo. I was moving, but I did, you know, I followed the results. I saw, I don't wanna dredge up this old chestnut again. But I did, so, you know, it's the end of the decade, right? So there's like these, I was on Reddit, I was reading R movies, and it was like, hey, what's your favorite movies of the decade? Somebody, and God bless them for having the cojones to share their honest opinion, was like, my favorite movie of the decade is legitimately Batman vs. Superman. And then there were a lot of people who were like, what? And I agree. But there were a couple people that were like, yeah, that the critics put out a hit on Batman vs. Superman. Nobody understood. The critics didn't understand what they were going for with the movie. And it's actually like one of my favorite movies of all time. And I was like, man. I don't think it was bait. You know what's that? Isn't it like what's the axiom on the internet that like at a certain level bait and bad takes are indistinguishable from one another? Is that Poe's law? Best movie of the decade is Mad Max. I've seen that show up in a lot of the lists. I mean, I think Look, there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, there's some wrong answers, and there's some righter answers, but like, you know, that's one that I've seen show up a lot. Dude, honestly, I've got big, you know, like recency bias, but I feel like Parasite is up there. Parasite definitely surpassed Midsommar for my favorite, like, original movie of this year. And I was, like, in love with Midsommar. I think that movie's amazing. Parasite is even better. And is, like, that's an incredible movie. Like, I look, I'm doing the thing that everybody does where they're like, hey, the best movie I saw should definitely win Best Picture over these 9 other movies I haven't seen. Like, I still need to see The Irishman, obviously, and, like, The Lighthouse and a bunch of other stuff. But, I'm like, man, if Parasite doesn't even get a nomination for Best Picture, then something is rotten in the state of Denmark/Hollywood. It's insanely good. Whiplash is amazing. Definitely one of my favorite movies of the decade as well. I have not seen The Farewell yet, but it's on the list of stuff to see for sure. Nightcrawler, also very good. His name is Kurt Wagner. There's a lot of stuff that I have not seen, so I would never like make my own list, to be honest, and consider it like definitive in any way at least. But I mean, you can keep naming them. The thing is, so like I saw Blade Runner 2049 on a plane, and I loved it, but I have to see it outside of the aerial environment. Ex Machina, I think, is definitely up there for me. Dragon Slayer Doppelganger 2010. Of course, another bona fide classic. That means, yeah, we got to make one next year. The Hangover Part 3, that's a classic. I really like the part where Zach Galifianakis is driving down Route 66 with a giraffe in his car, and he goes through an overpass, or an underpass, I guess, in this case. And the giraffe gets decapitated, and that kicks off the events of the movie. It's very good. Definitely, I still, like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on my to-see list. Despite Martin Scorsese not respecting me, I want to see The Irishman. I mean, all the press on the movie is like, it's amazing. I want to see The Lighthouse. I want to see The Farewell. I did see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I would probably put it top 10 on the list. It's a hard movie to, like, talk about. I feel like it's just, like, a quintessentially, like, great movie. Some people really like it, or even love it. I feel like most people are like, it was really good, but I had stuff that I prefer this year. It's very weird because it's just kind of like, it's a slice of life movie. I know it's going to sound bizarre given the plot, but, like, not that much actually happens. It's just like a very, very long television episode. But I like that vibe, honestly. You know, my great personal shame is that I have not seen a Wes Anderson movie that came out in 2010. Or between 2010 and 2019. I watched about 10% of Isle of Dogs on a plane through Kate's screen with no audio. I love Wes Anderson. I know it sounds like a weird thing to say, given that I haven't seen any of his movies in the last 10 years. But, like, Rushmore is one of my favorite movies of all time. Royal Tenenbaums is great. Bottle Rocket is great. I saw the Darjeeling Limited in theaters, and that kind of, like, ruined my enjoyment for, I don't know, maybe, like, 4 years. I got over it. I wonder when people get sick of 1% win rate battle royales. Well, the secret, as I've found, is to stop playing the ones you suck at and start playing the ones that you're good at, like Tetris 99. Where I've accomplished some landmark feats recently. I dare not tell you what they are yet. You'll see them for yourself. Yeah, I don't know, like, I agree with you. I feel like people are over battle royales. I feel like we've definitely passed, like, peak battle royale. But somehow, as with most things, there's like a cultural lag where people are maddest at them when their popularity is no longer at its peak. I hope that the next, and I mean, you're going to be sick of hearing me say it now, I hope the next thing is Battle Royale style games that are not shooters. Watch your old YouTube videos. You've aged like wine, brother. I'm telling you, there are negatives to going bald when you're a teenager. One of the positives is that it does obscure the effects of aging over the years. There's no doubt about that. That's fair. If anything, the baldness looks less silly right now, because it's like I'm not a child pretending to be bald. I'm actually just a man with no hair. I went bald a couple of months ago. People keep asking me if it's by choice. I'm also 19. It's just, you know, it is what it is, you know? Not a whole lot you can do about it. From dealing with it at a young age, I think it gives you a little bit of, like, you know, internal strength that other people delay on, to be honest. Like, when I see, like, guys in their 40s that are, like, self-conscious about going bald, I'm like, dude, I dealt with that shit when I was 17. Just get over it. Like, you're like you had hair 3 times longer than I did. Figure it out. Would you ever consider getting a hair transplant? I mean, this is probably the most asked question on the stream in history. So people have heard me say it many times before, but like, no. A, I kind of like being bald. I'm not against it. B, you know, how much does a hair transplant cost? It's like at least 5 figures, right? I would rather just spend that money elsewhere. No, I don't want my shoulder hair on my head. Body hair is different. I'll just start doing what self-conscious bald guys do and just start sharpieing a hairline onto my scalp. Dude, I watched that new true crime documentary on Netflix, The Devil Next Door. It gets the NL certified R/no sleep true crime seal and stamp of approval. Good show. If you hate Batman v Superman, don't talk movies, sweetheart. Yeah. Scorsese said Marvel sucks, so you know he stands DC. It's just that simple, dummy. The only movie critics I listen to are on cinema at the cinema. It's a man of wealth and taste. I only watch 5 bags of popcorn worthy movies. And sometimes I'll even take it one level higher. It's got to be a 5-bag popcorn classic that also gets 5 bags of soda. It's probably the worst joke I will always laugh at is hell lumbar fucked her. I've seen Office Space probably, I don't know, it's got to be like 30 times. It was just one of those movies, if you were alive in like 1998, it was on all the time. And I think my favorite gag from the movie, oh no, is when Gary Cole is just, he's got those prosthetic legs around his shoulders. If you could just move a little to the left, yeah. That would be nice. I like when Michael Bolton rolls up the window. It's a good joke. I went through a variety of experiences with Office Space. Because, like, you know, when I watched it for the first time, I was like 10. I didn't fully get it, but I was like, this is pretty funny, nonetheless. Then I saw it too many times, and I was like, I've seen it too much, this movie sucks. Then I watched it like a couple more times, and I'm like, nah, it's really good. I don't know, maybe my journey with Office Space is not done yet. Maybe there's still more to come. I think it's a good movie, yeah. I mean, it's not controversial, but I agree. I think it's a good movie. Office Space podcast. Malf, I'm telling you, we should start doing a podcast. Once a week, we watch a bad movie, and then just talk about it. We could start with the Wayans brothers' Little Man. I've never seen White Chicks either. We Hate Movies is gonna sue you. What? Are they gonna sue us, or are they gonna get sued by how did this get made? You know? Oh, there can only be one podcast that watches and talks about movies. Just like there can only be one angry video game nerd. Somebody please sue Judge Mathis. Yeah, exactly. Well, if I get sued for making media-based content, I'm gonna sue everybody who plays Isaac on YouTube. It's only fair. When was the last time you did a pub crawl? I don't know, like 2007? Did you see Dan's Isaac videos? This might surprise you in the year 2019, but anybody playing Isaac is a good indication that I'm probably not going to be watching that piece of content. What if Elon Musk was playing Isaac? Just make... Am I a boomer or am I a zoomer? Like, the only people I see enraptured with Elon Musk are 50-year-old Tesla owners who, like, start podcasts based on the car that they own, which is extremely bizarre to me. And then people who are like, oh my god, Elon Musk posted a reference to Cowboy Bebop. He's the coolest guy on the planet. I'm not impressed. You have to work slightly harder than that to impress me. I'm sorry, Elon. You still got work to do. The dude landed a rocket. What more could you ask? I honestly just think he should kind of shut up from time to time. But, you know, that's a personal opinion, not a policy opinion. He's entitled to do whatever he wants. And I, like, in scale to, you know, between us, he's a much bigger personality than I am. So, you know, he's entitled to tell me to kick rocks. Elon Musk is a billionaire, which makes him bad implicitly. Yeah, but have you considered that he likes Overwatch? Oh, but Overwatch is bad because of Blizzard. I forgot. Look, I don't want to... I've made a mistake. I would like to apologize to about 90% of chat and call out one specific person in a half-joking but like, haha, unless sort of fashion. I've gone off on my chat as being lewd recently. I'm realizing it is not lewd. It is one individual whose comments are exclusively lewd. And then occasionally some other people are taking the bait. I'm just asking, you know, it doesn't like upset me much, but like just stop taking the bait is I guess that's my suggestion. It is not Spyro. It does just go like take care of it. Okay? Don't make my chat a bastion for horniness. Just knock it out. And then, you know, come back and watch the show. It's No Nut November. That's not a real thing. It's made up by internet weirdos. Stop doing it. And especially stop talking about it. I'm not gonna do a gaming news podcast. If anything, like, Malv tweeted about it too, and I agree with him. My professional New Year's resolution for like 2020, I would love to make more non-gaming content. That's my 2020 resolution. Now, I have to be honest, I don't know what the hell that entails right now. I definitely do not want to make, you know, oh, you won't believe, we found a treasure chest in our backyard, you won't believe what's inside of it. But definitely, here's the thing, Northernlion, I'm realizing, is more of a lifestyle brand than just a gaming brand. People who watch my stuff, they don't watch my stuff because he's the best gamer. The gaming is in the background. It's ancillary to everything else. So, you know, whenever I get tired of gaming, which, you know, I mean, it's an easy job, don't get me wrong. But whenever, you know, there's content that I might find more inspiring to produce, previously I've had the attitude sometimes that it's like, you know, that's not what I do, you know? Shut up and dribble. Now I'm like, you know, that's what people want to see, I think. So I would love to branch out with a little bit more non-specifically gaming content, while still probably putting up like, you know, 30 hours of gaming content on the internet a week. Anyway, that's Malf. Hit me up in the DMs. Let's collaborate on something. Some YouTube content, Twitch content in the world of pop culture. No, I don't want to become a workout streamer. I've told you many times, I don't understand fitness streaming. Well, streaming, I guess I sort of do, but like, I don't understand like fitness YouTubing. Like, haven't you just at some point talked about all the exercises. You know what I mean? Like last year you published, if you're not doing this shoulder exercise, you're doing it wrong. And then this year you're like, the one shoulder exercise you should never do. Make up your mind, brother. My ideal podcast in 2020 is I just invite people in Vancouver that work in professions I have no perspective on. I invite them over to my office, ask them about a typical day in their life, and just go, wow, that's crazy. We'll call it the Wow That's Crazy podcast.
We should chat.
Like, so, you're a street sweeper?
I don't even think.
What time do you start work in the morning? Like 1:30. Wow, dude, that's insane. That's so early. Bloodborne's got some top tier waifus in it. See, that's bait. That's an example of what I'm encouraging you to just. You can respond, but just don't get sucked in by it. Is what I'm trying to say. If 90% of your comments are related to sex, I do start to get a little concerned, to be honest. There are other human emotions. Hunger, that's a big one. Anger, that one's online a lot. You can see a lot of that on the internet. Disgust.
Never anger a man of the cloth.
Sleep, yeah, tiredness. Just, you know, you gotta mix it up, you know, being a well-rounded person. It's hard to be well-rounded if you're horny all the time. Just, you gotta get a handle on it. I will never ban a subscriber, that's true. Plus, they haven't really done anything wrong. I take personal issue with it. It's like, you guys have people you follow on Twitter? Like, so I only follow, like, I don't know, maybe like 600 people on Twitter now. It's still a lot. But like every once in a while, due to the way that Twitter serves content, I will get like a picture of usually a costumed young lady who I am not familiar with at all. It pops up in my feed, and then it shows you why it pops up in your feed. And it goes like, someone you follow liked this. It's gotten to the point, there are 2 people I follow on Twitter. Anytime that pops up in my feed, it's a 100% chance that it's one of those 2 individuals. Literally, there is never a situation where I'm like, oh, was it, you know, this person and it wasn't? No, it's always one of 2 people. It's not macros. I will not name and shame.
That's the last of them.
They're entitled to like whatever they want on Twitter. I'm entitled to complain about it, but I'm not gonna call them out. It is definitely not Dan. Maybe I just don't get it. But I sort of don't understand how you can just be perpetually horny. Like, I just don't get it. I've been alive on this planet for 30 years. I have a high enough testosterone count that I lost my hair as a teenager, and I got body hair bristling all over my torso. And when people are like, when their defining emotion is horniness, I'm just like, I don't get it.
Here they come.
Why don't you just handle it, you know, and then get on with your day? Don't you have other stuff to do? You gotta get some other stuff to do then. I don't know. Here's my thought on the subject, okay? It's getting a little too real. People are gonna get upset a little bit by what I'm gonna say. But I say it like a good friend because, you know, sometimes you gotta hear the truth, okay? I think that there is a subset on the internet, people that have made being just wildly horny at all times part of their personality. They join horny discords. They play video games that are horny with their horny friends. And as a result, the horniness has become like a part of their personality. And that's okay. But it does make it weird if you're not part of that community. For like, you know, normies like myself, I won't speak for Malf. Sometimes seeing that aggressive amount of unbridled horniness can be kind of uncomfortable to interact with, honestly. You know, when like anytime a virtual lady comes on screen, like 100 people are like, ooh, ah, ooh, she's my waifu. And then if you go, hey chat, be cool, they're like, oh, I guess we're being sex negative now. It's not really that, it's just like, you know, she's got other things going on. And she's a digital character, you know? They hated him because he spoke the truth. I mean, that's the way I see it, yes. You know, like being a little horny now and then, openly, is not for me. But that's okay. You know, you're in the right circles. But when I recognize your name in chat, and I'm like, oh, that's the guy who's horny all the time. That's where I'm like, I personally wouldn't choose to be that guy. I would choose to make an alt or something like that. But then you couldn't talk during the Sunday streams unless you paid me twice as much money per month. So I already gave you 5 gifted subs. Yeah, it's true, you did. You did. I can't deny that. Here's the thing, you know, we live, it's an equal opportunity stream. Subscribers criticize me and I criticize subscribers. But the only people that are actually in danger of having any punitive action are the freeloaders watching, stealing my content for free. But you know, we have a mutual level of respect here. We can have conversations about this sort of stuff. I actually subbed today because if anybody deserves it, it's NL. Alright, there's no need for sarcasm, okay? Don't patronize me. I'm just saying, you know, my personal advice is be a little bit less horny, openly. Privately, whatever goes on in here, nobody has to know. You choose what comes out of there. Hey, Panda Battalion and Smut Rider Morgan, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. That's meant to say, let me be horny, and I'll gift subs. Look, I can't stop you from being horny. But I don't want to set a precedent of like, you can be horny if you buy 10 gift subs. If I was dumber, let me rephrase. If I was smarter, I would. Because I feel like you could just get, financially, it would give me great compensation. Cedric Fluffy. Thank you for the gifted subs. If I enabled horniness, my subscriber count would probably go up by like 20%. You get the horny emotes, you get all that going. It's a plus 20% boost to the subscriber count. For me to stick to my principles is costing me big on a month-to-month basis. You guys know the tweet that is like, you ever see a take so bad, it makes you log off and go to sleep? I just saw like 4 of those in chat. I'm gonna leave it at that. See, here you go, chat. I'm making so much food, the pan is overflowing. Now we're talking. This is not a horny stream, this is a hungry stream. What are you making that is overflowing in the pan? You get ground beef for soft taco / hard taco seasoning?
Can you hear me?
Lasagna? That's not a pan-based food. It's an oven-based food. Homemade Italian gnocchi. Now we're talking. I haven't had pasta in a while. I could get down with some pasta. Did you guys see the post on Reddit of the guy who was like, I'm having a watch party for Rick and Morty season 4 in my college dorm, but I didn't want just anybody to come to it, so I wrote 3 quizzes. One quiz was delivered to males because they tend to be more into Rick and Morty, so I made the questions very hard. One quiz went to females I don't find attractive because we need to balance the gender gap at the party. And then one quiz went to women I find attractive so that they will be more likely to come to the party. And also maybe I forget what he said, but he said like, I would like to like hook up / date them. It's like, man, it might be a parody, it might not, but like, the Rick and Morty fan base, it could use a break, dude. Could you just be normal? Could you just watch the show and not make these posts? The show is fine, but the community is just It's in a tailspin right now, and every single thing that you put into it that is in the same energy, it's making the current go around faster and faster and faster. There's no such thing as a good fandom. Put me in a tough spot, brother. I think the non-controversial way to respond to that question, or that statement, is that the larger a fandom gets, the more elements of badness that it gets. Like, you know, I watch like those 4 Queer Eye episodes in Japan. The show is relentlessly positive, and it's like a, you know, there's no place for people to find any prickliness that could lead to discussion. So it's like the community is almost exclusively positive. But then when I went on the subreddit, maybe that's the common element, and almost every post is like, this show's beautiful. But there is like one post every 2 or 3 days that's like, I like all of the guys except like Karamo is fake. Why doesn't he ever eat anything that Anthony cooks? This is ridiculous. Does Karamo even like the other guys? And then there'll be like a post below that that's like, well, Karamo might be fake, but at least he's not creepy like Bobby. And everyone's like, I'm out of the loop. What's creepy about Bobby? And then they just post like an unhinged rant that's like, I don't really know him that well, which is where you should fucking stop the sentence. But then it's like, well, I know that he grew up in a like repressed environment in the South, and he just gives off something that I call crazy Christian man energy. And then the person has the audacity after that to reply and say, oh, interesting. I disagree, but thanks for your opinion. Do not enable that. Don't enable that. Don't say thanks for your opinion. That person doesn't know what they're talking about. They're insane. You just reply to that one and say, okay, boomer. Or, wow, dude, log off. Like, those are your only reasonable replies there. Then you get to the edit. Why so many downvotes? Downvotes, really? You know that it was decreed when Reddit was created that the downvote button was not supposed to be used for comments you disagree with. Instead, it was exclusively to be used for comments that break the terms of service and the code of conduct present on this specific subreddit as detailed by this custom CSS styling page. Guess, yeah, we're not allowed to have opinions now. I downvote a lot on Reddit. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Sometimes people say things like, I thought the downvote button wasn't used to be disagreed with. It's only supposed to be used for spam or whatever. I don't care. Your post sucks. I hit the downvote button. I don't care what the 22-year-old kid who built Reddit 14 years ago intended that button to be used for. That button is now, this is a bad take and less people should see it. Sorry. Ooh, oof. Ooh, you got me right in my Reddit. I mean, so there was some stuff on the subreddit after Tuesday's stream. Some people took issue with the way that Austin was playing Minecraft on Tuesday, and some people took issue to the way that I responded to Austin playing Minecraft on Tuesday. And just literally saying that sentence has aged me like 100 years, and I feel like I'm 3,000 years old. I can't believe we're having Minecraft arguments in 2019. And I have like, I'm bald and I have gray in my beard. Like, this is wild. People on the subreddit has been a lot better. I can't deny that. However, people on Reddit in our community sometimes, they're very sanctimonious, and honestly they don't get it. Like, they'll talk about how toxic Twitch chat is, but meanwhile be like 10 times more toxic on the subreddit. And then when I'm like, this is toxic, they're like, well, sometimes you gotta be toxic to stop toxicity. And I'm like, that's idiotic. The Twitch chat, sometimes people say toxic things, but nothing. The beauty of it is that it's not like a bulletin board where you stick something to it and it's like, 1,000 people see it. Because chat is moving fast, people post something and then in 15 seconds is off the screen. And if you post an essay, no one will read it. The fact that instead we have like this bulletin board on the subreddit is when you get yourself into this situation. I like the chat is not toxic. Not as toxic by internet standards, at least.
Hey.
I was watching Death Stranding today, and I think it would be a comedy goldmine. I've been watching a little Death Stranding as well. I think it actually seems bizarrely like my kind of game. But I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to play it on Twitch or YouTube anytime soon. Give me your stream key, and I'll play it for you. I mean... Okay, boomer. What time slot do you want? Let's get the NL 24-hour network off on the right foot. What I was thinking, Josh, is like you could stream on my platform, like this channel, and you could also like, you know, make your own content as well, and we can like, you know, cross promote it for free. But you get to keep 20% of the revenue you make during the streams on my channel. I get the other 80. Better than your machinima contract?
Bruh. I'm not doing anymore.
Do you just have that bruh video on standby? How about I answer your question with another question?
Bruh.
I can steal from Dan because Dan has buttons on his soundboard that are literally my quotes. Yahoo! Wihoo! Okie dokie! Meow! Dan doesn't own anything on his soundboard. He didn't make a single one of those clips. They're all clips from like Sports Center's top 10 coach press conferences of all time. Playoffs, you play to win the game. You come to my athletes with that note. You do it to me. I'm a man. I'm 40. They are who we thought they were. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Don't forget the mouth scream. It is really good. I can't even do it. It's like he has like a wheeze connected to the gasp, which is two different directions of air. I don't know how he did it. NL made it to a perfectly cut Minecraft Scream video with this clip.
Exactly. It's all gone now.
Alright.
I forgot about that. Is this the post-show clip show? Sorry, this guy, he's driving a hard bargain. The whole game has been dialogue up to this point. I haven't blasted enough. It's working its magic on my attention span. This is why I can't be a gamer anymore. I have to just become big umbrella lifestyle content creator. Hey, here's what I had for lunch today. Hey, my favorite Wayans Brothers movie is Scary Movie 1. Hey, you know, that's the future of my content. Are you gonna play Sword and Shield on stream?
Good.
I don't know. I try to keep my stream apolitical. I don't get this one. The joke here is that, I mean, it's multifaceted. First, I do tend to keep my stream apolitical, except occasionally I'll drop a thinly veiled reference that illuminates what my actual politics are, and people that understand the jokes laugh, and people that don't go, huh? But then also I'm making a joke that's kind of like the latest in a long-running series of jokes equating the politics discourse, which is clearly very toxic right now, as being roughly equivalent to the gamer discourse. You know, the only two things people get really angry about on the internet these days are politics and gaming for the most part, but the actual joke within the explanation of the joke is that I actually think like games discourse online is maybe even like a little bit more toxic than politics discourse online, which is crazy. But anyway, so there's really like a multifaceted joke. To understand where we were going with it, you also need to recognize that Pokemon Sword and Shield has had a series of controversies, largely stemming from E3 in June 2019. But, it, you know, contrary to most controversies, it actually did not stop. It is actually gained steam as time has gone on. As a result, I wish perhaps there's a little bit of a nugget of truth in the joke that I made, which is that playing Pokemon Sword and Shield on the show, 6 months ago, it seemed like it would be a nice casual stream where I could be like, oh, look at this cute Pokemon. Oh, look at this weird Pokemon. But now instead, in order to be qualified to understand it, I have to take out a new student loan and go to school and take a course that teaches me the ins and outs of the Communist Manifesto, and also read Atlas Shrugged just to get a picture of what's happening on both sides so that I could play it and be qualified to talk about it and the issues that it would present while we're playing it.